Hi, Nora.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Another week, and I'm happy to see you again.
Oh, happy to see you too. It's been a long, busy week, but it
And
looks
it's
like
not over.
it's not over yet, no. But it is our regular weekly chat, so I'm happy
Yes,
to get to
yes,
chat with you. I see you're in a different location today.
I am. I'm on location in my kitchen.
Oh, and you're okay. I thought I was
Yeah, which,
familiar.
a lot of you have already seen my kitchen before, maybe not exactly from this angle, but remember when we used to kind of cook together? Today I'm solo, and our guest chef has an injury.
Oh no.
So, yeah, he's not going to be on today after all, but he's
Oh no.
promised to come on another episode. But
Okay.
yeah, I think he slept wrong. And when you sleep wrong on your pillows and then his neck is kind of like that,
Oh
and he can't
no. Poor
move.
thing.
Yeah. So he's kind of in pain. So
Sorry.
he's like, I don't think I'll be any good on there. I'll be stuck like this. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. I think I can handle this today.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think. Yeah. But
Well,
anyway,
that
we're going to
feels good.
talk also about our book. And we're now
Yes.
on chapter 5.
We
And
are.
I
And,
noticed that you
and I
got the
got
book
the
too.
book. Yes,
Yay!
finally. I went to Goodwill, and Goodwill has, I don't even know, 500 books. It seems like several shelves full of books. But somehow I found it within a short period of time. I was very happy about that. I have a little video on it. I'll put it at the end of this video showing you.
Good.
And I have a
Good.
couple other books I found there too that I thought might be interesting for us to use in a future book club
Yeah.
reading.
But
So,
that was so lucky that it was meant for you to go that day and
yes,
find the book that we're reading because you had said, well, I think I want to buy it because, I want to be able to read it and highlight and go back and forth. And
oh,
it's different,
total.
as you said, with the
Yes.
audio book, it's a little bit different than actually having the book. And as you can see, I've got like
Mm.
highlights in there and pencil writing and, all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway, I'm glad you found it.
And it was $1.91. So it was
Oh,
quite a
okay.
deal.
Mine was not $1.91. No fair.
Well, I also pay for Audible because I'm listening to it as well.
Okay. Okay.
But it
No, I'm
helps.
glad you found it and at a good price. That's a good thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Well,
So
how
we
do you
can
want to
continue
do this?
talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Oh, I
ahead.
was going to say, how do you want to, did you say you're going to make something or what are you doing?
I'm going to
Yeah.
make us some nachos.
Oh, you say,
Yeah.
so I'm expecting some to arrive here in Georgia in the next couple
Well,
hours.
I'm making one for you too. So
Okay.
anyway, some for you. So,
Oh, yeah.
um, so I think we'll talk about the book, and I'm going to lower my camera a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing, and I'll talk a little bit as we go along.
Okay.
And I wanted to kind of give you a history on nachos, and you may already know this history, and I may have already told you this, but do you know where they originated?
I do not.
Okay, now you want to guess? I
Um,
do not.
okay, I'm gonna say they're not Mexican. They're not from Mexico. I'm gonna say
Okay,
be fr France.
okay.
That's not
No,
right. Okay.
no, no.
I don't know.
Nachos actually, and this is going to be probably a big surprise to you, but originated in Piedras Negras, Coahuila, Mexico,
Oh,
right
really?
across the border from Eagle Pass, Texas, which is where I grew up.
Yes.
So there was a man, his name was Ignacio Amaya. For Ignacio, short for Ignacio is Nacho.
Okay.
So Nacho Amaya, right. So he worked in a restaurant. This is the way the story goes, and I'm sure it's changed over the years. But he was working in a restaurant, and they had already cleaned up the kitchen. And there was a customer that came in, and he said, "Well, I'm hungry. What do you have?" And he went to the kitchen, and he thought, "Oh my God, what do I do? What do I give this guy?" Right. So he fried up some tortillas, and he just sprinkled some cheese over them, and put like a little round, jalapeno on them, and brought them out, and the man just loved them. And then from there, it just kind of started rolling, and then it was on their menu. And then now nachos are all over the world.
Boom.
But if
Yeah.
you look it up, it's true. It's true because I people
Cool.
may be thinking, yeah, right, but no, it's true. And it's funny because I knew that man. He wasn't. He's not that. I mean, well, I don't think he's alive anymore. But he also worked at the local bank, First National Bank. We
Wow.
had a small little town, and it was called First National Bank. But that restaurant that he worked at, and I don't know if he owned it or anything. I just know he was worked at it.
Oh,
Was across the border in Mexico. So yes, they are Mexican, and yes, they are from
okay.
south of the border. So that's a little history for today on
Very
nachos.
cool.
Yeah,
All right. All right. Then
there
there
we go.
you go.
Okay, I'm
That's
gonna
very cool.
tilt. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna tilt you down, and we'll
Okay.
continue to talk. And let's see if we can see.
Oh yeah, we can see your tray there and your toppings. Perfect.
And okay, looks like you can see everything, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I know we're going to go over chapter 5, which was very interesting to me.
It was very interesting. It's called The Pain Body, and it's
Yeah,
about the accumulation of old emotional pain that lives
yeah.
inside of us.
Refried beans.
Oh, those look good. And it can be personal or collective, passed down via generation. So it can be personal pain or collective pain. And
Yeah,
they talked about that, like the Jewish population or Black
yeah.
Americans, Native Americans all have collective pain, basically, that's been passed down to them.
Hmm.
But yeah, unresolved emotional pain, which then has
Yeah,
an energetic entity, it's said that and it feeds on negative emotions.
I'll
And
be
we,
right back. I forgot the cheese. I think we
okay.
need cheese for nachos, right?
Oh yeah,
I'll be
definitely.
right back.
Okay. And it definitely can be stirred up, but something can trigger it if you haven't dealt with it or you don't realize that that your ego reacts to it and your ego loves that pain that's in your that's unresolved pain, basically. And I thought it was interesting. It said that the mind is conditioned by the past.
Yeah,
So you're then forced to reenact the past over and over,
yeah.
and
I
especially
kind of
unresolved pain.
really liked the part where, and I kind of, related it to myself, and thought of hurts that I've had,
Yeah.
in the past and how they do come up. I was
Mm.
watching somebody the other day on YouTube, and she was talking about when she was a child and just, not terrible things, but just, the kids didn't like her or, just things like that that happened during, when you're young in
Yes.
school. And I don't know, things started coming back to me, and I thought, oh, I remember in third grade, they were so mean, and I couldn't play sports. And when I go up to bat, or no, when we were picking teams, that little scenario, which I'm sure a lot of people know of,
Yeah.
they wouldn't pick me, until like way the end. I'd be the last one standing there, and I just remember being so sad, and all of a sudden, all those feelings, just let me. I gotta move you up because all those feelings that he was talking about, they just all came rushing back. And
Ex-
I had to like really shake myself out of it. And I had to turn it off because I was like, if she says anything else, about them throwing rocks at her, I'm going to be like, they threw rocks at me.
They threw rocks at
I
you?
said,
Did they?
no, they didn't.
Oh,
But in my
scared
mind, I
me.
was just like, oh my God. So I just thought, that's it. I turned her off. But it did, just like he's saying, it's there. It's always
Yeah.
there, but something can trigger it. But then it's up to you, if you can consciously know and feel like, oh, these feelings are coming back of whatever may have happened to you,
Yeah.
then you need to like stop it,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking about that too
I'm going
because,
back down.
okay, a few
Okay.
weeks ago we were having dinner with my son, and it happened to be our 45th anniversary of when the first time we met. Not our wedding anniversary, but the day we met. And we still celebrate it and talk about it every year. And so then, we started talking about how we met. We met at a party. Our sisters had connected us at this party, and I had told my son, that I had just come out of a bad relationship with somebody who I had met at the high school that was a year older than me. And he was on the football team, very popular. Everyone liked him at school.
I didn't know this story. Keep telling, keep
Okay.
telling.
Okay. And he was very well liked by everybody and, super funny and all with everybody. But he wasn't good to me, and he was actually abusive to me. And I remember going to his prom, which, like I said, was a year before my prom, and some guys at the table were telling jokes, and I was laughing at the jokes because they were funny, and I got I got in trouble by him later when we were alone, just the two of us, and he thought it was very inappropriate that I had laughed at some jokes and proceeded to hit me with a cane that he was carrying that he brought to the prom because he was, I don't know that why he was using a cane, but not for injury. But and then I went home and I didn't tell my parents because I was afraid, first of all, what my dad might do to him. Um,
Yeah.
But the point of the story was then I met my husband, like a few weeks later, and
Mhm.
I didn't even know how to end the relationship with him because he was so domineering. But I met my current husband then, like I said, at that party, and I just started dating him. And then, but I always describe my current husband as like the angel that saved me. And as I was telling this story, I started crying, and my husband's like, "Wow, this guy really messed you up." And I thought, I don't know. I guess it's so deep buried and I tell it so not frequently at all. I don't know if I was crying because of this person, or more of that I was glad that I wasn't still in that situation. And he went on to do other things that, I look back at it now and think, oh my God, I mean, he was trying to force me to do things I didn't want to do and didn't do. But I always think, oh, what if I would have ended up pregnant with a child of his and would have stayed connected to this horrible person the rest of my life? But
Yeah.
after reading this chapter, so I started crying that night when I was telling my
That's so
husband about it.
sad. I'm
I
sorry you
was,
had to go through that. Yeah.
yeah, and I was telling my husband and my son about it, and I was like, I don't know why I started crying about it. But then this week, when I read that chapter, I thought, it's unresolved issues. And I actually, I had finished the chapter and it said that really forgiveness is the way that you have to close these unresolved issues in your life. And it's the first time that I ever said out loud, like, I forgive him and used his name. I have to release him because there's a story in the book too about two monks that are walking and they come across a lady who is wearing this beautiful silk kimono, and one of them, she says, I don't want to get dirty, but I need to cross the river. And so he picks her up, puts her on his back, carries her across the river, and puts her down. And the monks continue to walk for another 5 hours. And then after 5 hours, the other monk says, why did you pick her up and carry her? You know that we're not allowed to do that. And he turns to him and he says, I put her down 5 hours ago. Why are you still carrying her? And that
Yeah.
was the point of many
Yeah.
of our stories, including my stories. Like I've been carrying that story in my head for
Yes.
so many years. And when it triggered me to be emotional about it again. But I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to be emotional about that story because that's not my current story. And thank God it never was. But past
Yeah.
then, but and you and I both know when we went to Greece that those monks they're not really allowed to do a lot of things. They're not allowed to talk. They're not
I
allowed.
don't think that any of them even looked at us in the face,
Oh
like
no,
eye to eye. I think they kind of just always looked down and were walking around. And
right. I don't
yeah,
think we were allowed
and
to really look at them either, but we did
yeah,
think
no.
we looked. But you were told not to make any conversation with them.
True, true.
Anyway, this I felt good after reading the chapter, and I said, yeah, I'm
Yes.
that forgiveness
It,
exercise. I,
Yes, it was just so enlightening because I had never put those two things together.
yeah,
And when I was reading this, then I thought, that's why all those emotions came back because I'm still carrying that. And
exactly.
when I was listening to this, person and they were talking about, sadness and their childhood, all of a sudden everything came back to me. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh. But he's so right. But I haven't, yeah, I need to let go. I'm not sure
yeah,
how to do that. But yeah, I mean, I realize we just have to say it out loud, I guess, and mean it,
exactly.
and just forgive. But
And this
yeah.
is, I'm 62, and this happened to me when I was probably 16 because this is his senior prom is my junior prom. And then
Yeah.
I met my husband, who I'm married to now. I met him at 17. So I know it was 16, 17. I guess I was 17 at that time too.
Hmm,
But
hmm.
I was like, I'm not carrying this anymore. I'm not going to think about
Oh,
it
thank
ever.
God.
Or,
Yeah.
for a time I was embarrassed by it because I was like, how did that happen? How did I let myself get it? And that's why I didn't tell my parents because I was like, I don't want them to know about
Yeah.
it.
No, your dad would have had a fit. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Probably would have gone and found them and beat them
And
up.
yeah, kind of beat him or something.
All right, let's see your nachos.
And I'm going to move you over here to my easy bake oven, which is
Okay.
not really an easy bake oven, but I call it my easy bake oven. It's actually, I'll show it to you. There you go.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's
I
actually
love that.
an air fryer, toaster, roaster, reheater, broiler, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I call it easy bake oven because it's easier for me. So I'm just going to put them in
Mine
here
too.
for it so that they can toast. You know what?
Okay.
Let me, well, don't look inside at all the crumbs, but there they, I need to
Those
clean
look
it.
like Those look like tostadas or something because you
They do.
are
They
usually
do right.
small little triangles, aren't they?
Well, you just hold on.
Okay. More to come.
It's going to be a miracle. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so now they're in there. Say goodbye. Bye bye. Okay.
Wow.
That's going to melt.
Okay.
Okay. I hope I didn't twirl you around too fast, but I'm back over here.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
That
I'm
looks
gonna,
good.
okay. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Now, are we
So
waiting for those to actually cook, or do you have some already magically made?
it's going to take like maybe 2 minutes. I think we have
Oh,
enough time,
that's
right? Just a
yeah,
couple of minutes. I
yeah,
just need the
sure.
cheese to melt because that's it. That's the whole thing. So, and like I said, the original nachos did not have beans on them. It was just the cheese and the jalapeno that I decided to put the beans on them. But you don't have to in case you just want to make something quick and easy.
Okay.
And then you'll see right now. And I found out we went to this burger place. And this is kind of off topic of our book, but we went to this burger place here in San Antonio, and it's called Diana's. They make the super bestest ever burgers in the world, and then they're just delicious. And this is the way they make their nachos. And when I saw that, the way they do it, because at first I was like, how they get it so perfectly perfect like this. And then I saw what they were doing. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to start doing that from now on. And I don't know of anybody else that does it except for that one restaurant. So if you're in San Antonio, try Diana's Burgers. You won't regret it. They're absolutely delicious. But you'll see right now in just 1 second as soon as that cheese melts. But
Okay.
anyway, back to our book.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think the whole kind of underlying theme of the book is about awareness, and that's really the antidote for all of our how our ego responds to good, bad, whatever's happening. But the awareness factor of like, oh, I realize why I'm feeling like this or reacting like this, and
Exactly.
that's the big step. It's just awareness. And they said in that chapter too about how some people walk around and you're talking to them and you can kind of sense that they're not even really there. They're kind of zoned out or they're thinking about something else. And I mean, and that's a big thing too. I've talked to people like that. They're so busy, but their head is already thinking, further along or something else and I was thinking that's part of the awareness too, is being aware of where you are, what you're doing, being in the present moment.
Being in the present moment, exactly. Because I think a lot of times that's what we do. I know sometimes on I'm guilty of that as well. On Sunday evenings, I'm thinking, oh God, tomorrow I've got to do this, that, and the other at work. And then I have to stop myself and say, but it's not Monday, it's Sunday.
That's
Enjoy these next few hours before you go to bed or whatever, and don't worry about tomorrow will come. I'm not saying yeah, we all have to have a plan for tomorrow, right? But I mean, not to be so concerned with it that you're not enjoying today. I
exactly.
think that's what he says. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just spit a little bit there. Sorry.
Okay. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, please don't let it be Monday. Please don't let it be Monday. And then the next day, please don't let it be Tuesday. No,
Yeah.
actually, Mondays are always the worst because you're like, there wasn't enough time to get everything done in your weekend.
Yeah.
Just one more day. I wish it
I
was.
agree. I agree. I used to have a schedule that was, I was off on Mondays. And
Oh,
it was the best schedule because I'd work Tuesday through Friday. And then I had the long weekend. And Mondays were just like awesome because no matter where you went, everybody was at work. So it
yeah,
was quiet. If you went to the grocery store, if you went shopping for whatever, it was going to be quiet. It was
that
awesome.
would be
But
perfect.
yeah, I don't have that schedule anymore. So,
Not
oh, let
yet.
me check on these.
Not yet. But when you retire, you and I talked about retirement earlier this week when we were texting or something. And then the next day at work, we were talking about something, and I said, I was saying something about next year when we have to do the same program or something. And I said, next year when you guys do the program, make sure you do it do something. And I was like,
You
sounds like I'm not going to be here next year. I was like, oh, and then
said,
I just framed that. I was like, hint, hint, maybe I won't. I don't know.
oh my goodness. Okay, so here they are. Can you see them?
I do.
And they're nice and melted. So
Okay.
here's what makes the perfect triangles.
Pizza
Pizza
cutter.
cutter.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And so, again, I just never thought of using this and just using, because, when you use the little tostadas or whatever, the little triangles that are already triangles, you sprinkle a cheese on there, but the ones on the bottom don't get any cheese.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So this way, the whole The whole everything got cheese because you sprinkled it on a flat surface. So
Ah, I like that.
that's it.
Yeah, I like that. Also, I never use carrots on my nachos.
These are pickled carrots.
Mm.
So they are, let me see, I've got the jar right here. I was washing it out because I got to recycle it, but
Mm.
you see that?
Yeah.
And so they have like a jalapeno taste, but
Okay.
nowhere near as spicy.
Oh, okay.
So I really enjoy these. I mean, you can just munch on them. They're so good. You need to try them.
Yeah.
So, so here is, if you can see, let me kind of lift it up.
Okay.
So yeah, we're turned into four perfect, can you see it?
Yes. Oh, it looks
Four
good.
perfect little triangles.
Yummy. That looks really good. That's a great idea. And by the way,
Yes.
making your own like chip is so much healthier too.
Yeah.
Um, I use that Yuka app that tells what the rating is and how good it is for you. None of
Yeah.
the processed chips that you see at the grocery store are healthy for you, but you can buy some corn tortillas, and I don't remember which brand of tortillas we buy, but it's a healthier brand, and then we make our own nacho chips.
Yeah, you have to be so careful because I've noticed that now they put sugar in tortillas, the flour and the corn. So you have to read the back of the package, and 9 out of 10 of those, even the corn, will have sugar in them. And it takes me quite a while. I have to stand there looking at, every single, tortilla package on the back to make sure they
Yes.
don't have the sugar because I don't want the sugar. So,
Right.
but I'm gonna try
Yes.
one of these for you. So,
Okay, good. And oh, my little ring light just turned off. I'm gonna read for you guys the last thing that I have here. Sorry, my
okay,
light's gonna be a little dark here. Uh,
okay, that's okay.
but you taste that for us. Uh,
Oh, delicious.
it
If I do
says,
say so myself.
yes, the realization, let's see. Okay, it says the only perpetrator of evil on the planet is human unconsciousness. And then it says that realization is true forgiveness. With forgiveness, your victim identity dissolves. Oh, because it was talking about that a lot of times we actually, like take on that victim identity and we keep it with us. Something bad that happened to us
That's true.
earlier at some point. We keep
Yeah,
that identity the rest of our lives. But it was saying that
right.
only through forgiveness can you really shield that victim identity. And then your true power emerges, and it's the power of presence.
Mhm.
Instead of blaming the darkness, you bring in the light, which I really like that. And at the same time, my light went out.
Wait a minute, you're supposed to bring in the light, Ellen. I
Oh
turn it
yeah,
off.
okay. Somehow I turned it off. All right. Well, anyway, it was a good chapter. I enjoyed it
I
thoroughly.
truly enjoyed it. I think, I don't know, each one of them has been my favorite, but this one really kind of touched home because I was
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, I can relate to this so much. So this
that's
was a
awesome.
really good one.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Um, if you guys have any interest in joining us for our next book club, we're going to be talking about that soon. We're more than halfway through our book right now, so
I realize that.
we're
Yeah,
almost
that is
done with
something.
this one.
It's a
Yeah,
very short book, so that's kind of, but it's
right.
short, but it dives so deep into everything that it's just amazing. It's a really good book.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So we'll
But
talk.
yes, we would love for you guys to join us. We would love for you guys to give us a like and subscribe so you can listen to us every single week when we get to chats.
Right, that's right. We're here. Not for just for us. We're also here to be a good service to you all and bring you some good content. So it's been
Yeah. And if you have any comments, leave us a comment. If you have a question, if you're, questioning, well, what exactly did you mean by that? We'll definitely go over it a little more in detail. And we can tell you exactly, what he is saying in the book.
not that we're the pros on everything. Oh, that little light came on. Not that we're the pros on this or anything like that, but we're reading it and we're figuring it out as we read it. And
Right.
we've enjoyed like getting to getting to read it. Okay, now I look like a ghost. But anyway, fun times, definitely. I
Fun times. That's right.
this was
Yes,
good
yes,
learning
yes.
for me this week, so I enjoyed it. All right. Well, are you enjoy your nachos before they get cold?
I
And
will.
yes, we'll check in with you next week as we move on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
And everybody, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you back here next week.
Yes, for chapter 6, breaking free. That's going to be a good one too.
That's going to be interesting. Yes, breaking.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Breaking free. Definitely. We all need to break free from our chains,
That's
whatever chains they are.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, nice seeing you, and hope to see you again. And hopefully, we'll get our guest chef one of these days back on here once he's feeling a little bit better,
I hope he feels
and
better.
he can enlighten us with something a little bit more magical than just nachos. But
Oh,
that's
that's really good. Thank you for telling us about the origin too. All right.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
we'll see you next week. Tell Richard we
Okay,
hope he feels better.
I will. Thanks,
Okay.
Elva.
Take care.
Nice seeing you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, this is the book area here at Goodwill. And guess what? I found the book that we're reading. And so I've decided to go ahead and pick it up. Even though I'm listening to the Audible, I've wanted to have the book to make notes in the margins and all that. So I found the book, and it's $1.91 here at Goodwill. Great finds here at Goodwill. I also found a couple books that I thought maybe we could talk about for our next book club reading. This one is called Your Second Life Begins When You Realize You Only Have One. I've heard that's a good one. And then this one is called This I Believe. It's a New York Times bestseller book. And the last one I found was this book called I Am Malala, I guess is the way it's pronounced. But anyway, it looks interesting. It says the girl who stood up for education and was also shot by the Taliban. So it's going to be interesting, I think, an inspiring story. Also winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. So, interesting book. But yeah, I'm still trying to decide which book might be best for us. I'll certainly talk to Nora about it too and see what she thinks. But great selection of books, from self-help books to fiction books to a little bit of everything. There's even some cooking books on that top shelf you can see there. So there's a lot to look at. Anyway, super happy I found the book we're currently reading. So now I can make my notes in the margins like I wanted to. Yay!